RDC approval, then mas masisigurado natin yan. Any comment po?
Yes, Mr. Chair. The Secretary has been reiterating this also as a matter of policy of the agency that moving forward, all projects would be required to have RDC approval and recommendation.
I suggest that you also work with the legislative branches, no? So Congress and the Senate, na pati kami. Kumbaga pati kami dapat magpasailalim dyan. No? And we can minimize yung mga last minute na mga lalabas na mga proyekto. And if we can minimize that at dumaan sa proseso, I think the quality of our projects talagang makikita natin para sa tao yan. Diba? You agree, Yusek Bernabe?
Totally, Mr. Chair. We agree
Okay.
totally.
And yes, Secretary Toledo?
Yes, Mr. Chair, just to note that maaring hindi lahat ma-accommodate yung RDC indoors, but what we want to make sure is kung ano yung nasa NEP ay dapat may RDC indoors. Kasi sa dami po ng demand and of course sa dami ng mga proposal, we cannot just accommodate all.
So your goal is 100% of the NEP infra dumaan sa RDC?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay. And do you have a number in previous years? What did we achieve in previous years?
That's around only 20 to 30%, Mr. Chair, as far as the RDC indoors projects are included in the NEP.
So currently we're at 20%.
20,
and
yes,
we want to go to 100%.
Making sure
Is that correct?
Well, yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay. So 20% ang galing. So this is the 2025 or 2026 budget?
2025 to 2026 proposed
Okay.
project.
So ang nais natin, and I want this on the record, no, ang nais natin, sa NEP pa lang, ako nga, majority, you're saying 100% dapat may RDC approval yung mga proyekto. Correct, no? That's what you're saying.
But sometimes, Mr. Chair, our programs and projects sometimes are coming from the central office. So I would like to correct myself that the 100% is, I think, it's not...
Okay. Tanong ko to.
Majority, yes. That's a good
Okay.
word for achieving the RDC
But
recommendation.
hindi ba kung central office rin yan, hindi ba magre-reflect rin yan sa mga regional concerns? Hindi ba? Secretary Bonoan?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, let me share with you actually what's being practiced.
Sige po.
Actually. Since under this administration, we're talking about allocation, the allocable amounts per region. This is not for any political allocation, but this is for regional development. And in that, in the formulation of the projects under the core program of the department, we have seen to it that all the projects that will get into the allocation will have to be coming from the Regional Development Council infrastructure program. They have to pick that out from the list of projects that were already included in the Regional Development Council program. And we require all the regional offices and the district offices to certify that the projects that they have included into their program actually came from the Regional Development Council program.
Okay. Pero yung porsyento po niyan,
70%.
70%.
Yes, Your Honor. Because the 30%, well, the 30% is actually a continued assistance under the Mandanas Law.
Okay.
Because, Your Honor, when we formulated the budget under this administration, it was supposed to be the entire budget of the department should have been devoted to the core program of the department, and that is for National Roads Management and Flood Management Program only. But then, when I asked the President, what will we do with the Mandanas Law? And he said, because, shall we continue with it? And he said, yes, let's continue with it because you don't expect that the local governments have enough revenues because of the pandemic. It was at that time when this administration took over, the economy the government was at the lowest because of the pandemic and the international uplifts.
Okay, thank you, Secretary. Let me ask Yusek Bernardo. Sir, yung mga proyektong nabanggit ninyo or napag-usapan nyo sa affidavit na may mga porsyentuhan, were these projects duman ba to sa RDC? Or were these insertions? Were they purely from legislators? I mean, just to your memory, Mr. Bernardo.
I think, Mr. Chair, most of those projects came from the RDC. However, there were lists that came out from the BICAM na later on po, pag lumabas doon, we require the district engineers or the regional directors to get clearance from the RDC or the local government.
So, nire-reverse nyo rin yung
Opo.
proseso.
Yes
So,
po.
ibig sabihin, kahit may RDC pa yan, hindi ibig sabihin na napakalinis niyan. May mga galaw-galaw pa rin dyan.
Tama po yun, Mr. Chair, but ang pinag-uusapan po namin dito, ang nabanggit ko po, ay yung pong walang RDC. Yung mga walang RDC po na yun, binabalik namin sa distrito or sa regional director to get clearance from the RDC or else to get clearance from the local government.
Yes.
Meron po kami mga...
So, I'm just trying to correct, no? So, Secretary Toledo, hindi ibig sabihin may RDC ay walang corruption yan. Tama po, Yusek, no? Kahit RDC pa yan, pwede rin niyang may mga porsyentuhan, contractor, and all of that.
Maaari po.
Maaari. So, let me correct that, no? So, hindi rin siya exactly the same.
Intervene, no? Related. Kung lahat ng or majority ng mga proyekto na pinapasok ninyo galing sa RDC, bakit pagka budget season, ba't katakot-takot ang governor, mayor, barangay chairman, andyan sa hallway namin? Kung galing sa RDC, galing sa mga governors, galing sa local development councils, bakit puno yung hallway namin tuwing budget deliberation? Kindly explain. I cannot reconcile.
Well, I think they have other local priorities, probably, Your Honor, that they want to be included in the budget.
No, ang ibig sabihin noon, hindi galing sa RDC, hindi galing sa Local Development Council, kaya sila nakikiusap sa mga congressmen, sa mga senador, tuwing budget deliberation.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Thank you.
There has to be a better check siguro, Secretary Toledo, no? Kasi, kumbaga, sinasabi ni Yusek Bernardo, kung RDC lang approval, makukuha mo naman yan eh. Basically, right, no? Secretary Bernardo, Yusek Bernardo. So, there has to be a better check in terms of yung papasok sa NEP ng mga proyekto, no? And we're here to support these reforms, no? Nais natin makita yung mga reformang ito para yung klase ng mga proyekto mas akma sa pangangailangan ng tao. And I would like to think kung dumaan sa proseso, mas maganda yung kalidad ng mga proyekto kaysa sa naisip na lang sa last minute, no? Pero yung presyo rin, kailangan nasa tamang lugar din. Kasi basically, ang testimonya dito ni Yusek Bernardo, kahit may RDC yan, posible yung presyo, naka-accommodate pa rin dun sa mga porsyentuhan na nakikita natin. So there has to be a better process there. Maybe it's also the timing, no? By a certain date, dapat mas stricto tayo sa budget call or mas stricto tayo sa mga klase ng proyekto. Maybe I've lost my time, no? But Yusek Bernabe, are you undergoing a review of all of the designs of DPWH? Are you doing that now?
Mr. Chair, designs of the
Of all your
infrastructure.
projects, no? In the testimony here sa Blue Ribbon, na-establish na almost all of these projects are over-designed para ma-accommodate yung mga porsyentuhan. No? The actual project cost is actually much less than what your designs have. Are you doing that? Alam ko yung CMPD, ginawa nyo na yan, di ba? But yung mga disenyo mismo, binabago ba ninyo?
Mr. Chair, I believe we are in the process. Inuna po namin yung CMPD kasi yun po yung pinaka, I think, yun yung padded talaga, no, for overpricing. For the designs, I guess it will take time again. No? Usually po kapag naman mga technical infrastructure, we have consultants to do the designs. But
Okay.
I will check with our Bureau of Design.
For the record, no, marami na
Kindly wrap
akong
up, Senator
marami na akong rekomendasyon and yung pag-check ng mga disenyo, yung CMPD actually nanggaling rin yan sa mga hearings na i-check ng DPWH. You might also need to update that, by the way, kasi 6 na buwan na atang or 5 months nang lumipas. Posible rin na hindi na rin valid. You should update. Ang CMPD is updated every month ba or every quarter?
Semester, Mr. Chair.
Every semester, so twice a year.
Yes,
Twice a
Mr.
year. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Maraming
Thank
salamat.
you. Before we discuss the, I think, the much anticipated Cabral files, so we can listen to Congressman Leandro Leviste, para lang to just get this out of the way, Yusek Bernardo, naikwento ninyo na noong nagsisikay ng sanctuary, nagulat kayo na biglang sumulpot si General Nick Torre. Kindly explain to us kung ano yung circumstances.
Yes po, Mr. Chair. When I was implicated po dito sa flood control, I immediately sought the advice po of the spiritual sector. I mean, lumapit po ako sa kanila, sa simbahan, at humingi po ako ng protection at sanctuary. Ngayon, nung humingi po ako ng sanctuary, after my first testimony po dito, nung nag-testify po ako nung, I think that was September 25, pagkaraan po noon, medyo naka-feel na po ako ng hindi maganda sa pakiramdam ko ay nagkaroon po ng problema ako sa security or sa family ko. So, isa pong kaibigan ang nagmalasakit sa akin na kumbaga lumapit po at dumirekta po sa isang religious, isang respected priest. Ngayon, nung lumapit po ako sa kanya at nakipag-usap po, ay nagkaroon po sila ng parang sinasabi tutulungan po ako sa isang safe house wherein I was invited and with my family po, sinama ko po doon sa safe house. Sa isang safe house po, sinama ko po yung 3 anak ko. At sinama ko pa nga po yung aking lawyer eh. Kasi gusto ko pong malaman talaga yung ilalagay na ako sa safe house. So, during that time po, medyo nagkakaroon po ako ng takot at pati yung pamilya ko. So, pumunta po kami sa lugar na isang tinuro sa aming safe house. And during that time po, nung dumating po ako doon, ay of course, nandun po yung priest na kausap ko. At nung dumating po kami doon, ay namangha po ako, nandun si General Torre. So, nung nandun po si General Torre, of course, alam ko naman po na during the time, he was already on floating status. But he was still a 4-star general during the time. Kaya lamang wala na po siya sa role ng PNP. So, nakita ko nga po, may patrol pa doon sa labas ng safe house eh. Doon sa malayo po doon, hindi naman po malapit. So, sinama ko po yung aking 3 anak at kasama po yung aking abogado at kasama po yung priest. Nag-discuss po kami regarding security issues. Kasi po, yun lang naman po yung purpose ko eh, to secure my family and myself doon po sa lugar. But nung malaunan po, he told me about the restrictions of yung pong mga bagay na pwedeng gawin sa safe house, mga hindi dapat gawin. So nagkaroon po ako ng, nag-iisip po ako noon. Sabi ko, siyempre, I need to consult with my family kasi 3 anak ko lang po yung kasama ko doon. So nung, nagpaalam po ako because during the time po, I'll be having my check-up. Kailangan ko po magpa-check up sapagkat meron po akong problema sa sinus. So during that time po, nagpaalam po ako na sabi ko, maybe I can go back after 2 days kasi magpapacheck up naman po ako and I will be seeking the help of my own security. Ako na lang po yung gaganap mismo at nangako po ako na babalik po ako after 2 days. But after 2 days po, ay napag-anuan po namin that for the meantime, medyo nabigla din po kasi yung mga anak ko dahil siyempre po, nanibago po sa sitwasyon namin at marami pong events na nangyari. So, hindi na po ako bumalik doon. So, ang ginawa ko po ay parang naputol na yung aking communication after that time. So, hindi na po ako nagbalik doon.
Was he following up? Bakit hindi ka na bumalik?
I think meron pong during that time, I've got his number po. Doon sa araw na yon, nung gabi po na yon, at nagte-text po siya, kinukumusta po ako ni General. So sabi ko naman po, okay naman ako. But after that po, I decided to reset my phone.
Yeah, ang pagtataka ko lang, hindi ba nag-occur sa'yo under whose authority and in what capacity could General Torre provide security para sa iyo?
Medyo nag-isip din po ako noon. While ako naman po, buuan tiwala ko because of my spiritual advisor, yung pong yung pari po, nakausap ko. So, ako naman po, nag-iisip din po ako mabuti doon kasi during the time po that we were talking, palabas-labas po siya at may tinatawagan.
Hindi, nasa kanya na. Anyway, alam nyo, kaya lang ako interesado because scatterbat ito Ito, unreliable. Kumbaga sa aming classification, sa military, sa police, F6. No? Hindi A1, F6, pinakamababa. Na meron daw mga testigo na hinahawakan tungkol sa flood control. I don't know if my colleagues here have also heard about this, sabi natin, chismis. Pero very loud yung chismis na may mga hawak siyang ibang testigo. For what reason, or what motive, hindi ko alam. Kaya lang ako nag-interesado when I found out that he also got in touch with you through an intermediary para mag-provide ng security sa'yo. Now that you clarified the matter, hindi naman siya persistent.
Hindi naman po, Mr. Chair, kasi after that po, siyempre po, doon po sa may mga pinararating din ako doon sa aking spiritual advisor, doon po sa tumutulong sa akin. And I think ang pinarating po sa akin, they were praying with, pinapagdasal po nila ako, ganun. So ako naman po, on my part, nung nangyari na po yon, hindi ko po alam yung, Mr. Chair, hindi ko po alam yung ganung purpose, kung mayroong purpose sa akin na But definitely, during the time po, I was in the process of applying for the WPP. Nasa Witness Protection Program application na po ako. And I think, doon naman po, yung akin naman po pagpunta ron, wala pong legality. Halimbawa po, sila po yung magkocontrol sa akin. Hindi ko po yun, dahil ako naman I was with the DOJ seeking clearance and
At
sa
that
DOJ.
time kasi you were already under evaluation.
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
And medyo positive naman yung response ng DOJ sa application mo.
Yes po, Mr.
So I
Chair.
was just wondering, bakit kailangan humingi pa ng protection outside of the WPP?
Mr. Chair, ang pinaka-purpose...
Hindi ka naman pwedeng bigyan ng immunity dun. No.
Mr. Chair, ang akin pong paglapit sa simbahan ay for my family security at sa akin po. At saka po purely spiritual advice. Hindi po dun sa talagang, although they offered me a sanctuary na siyang safe house, pero hindi po yun ang lapit ko sa kanila. Hindi naman po ganun.
Yes, Senator Pangilinan.
On his testimony, just one quick question. Kasi sa testimony, sa affidavit rather ni Yusek Bernardo, nabanggit niya, I can confirm based on my number 7, page 2, my personal knowledge that in some form or another and on various extents, based on current setup, each and every DPWH official employee from top and down line is buffeted with various avenues of corrupt practices. Tama po, di ba? Nabanggit niyo yan.
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
Tapos sabi po niyo, this is also true for several top officials of other departments or agencies such as DOF, DENR, DOH, DepEd, DA, DAR, DOTR, PCSO, Philippine Co. Tama po ba yun?
Yes po, Mr. Chair. I mentioned that in my affidavit.
Yes. So, ang tanong ng basic tanong, marami pa ba doon sa mga nabanggit nyong mga ahensya? Incumbent pa rin?
Mr. Chair, may I consult with my counsel?
Yes, you don't have to say the names. I won't, because that will have to be subject to of another investigation. But we just want to know, doon sa mga personal knowledge mo, mga nakaupo pa ba itong mga ito? Yes. Because this should also be, the DOJ should also be interested in this. If we are really serious about going after all these crooks.
You're right, Mr. Chair. The department is very much interested in that, and that is the reason why these matters cannot be disclosed right now because there are ongoing case build-ups.
No, I'm not asking for any name. I'm
Yes,
just asking for a general question. Meron pa bang mga nakaupo?
Yeah, I think
Yes or no?
as far as that question is concerned, it's okay
Yes.
for Mr.
Meron
Bernardo
pa bang
to answer.
nakaupo na opisyal? Yes or no?
Do I have the,
Yes.
the clearance from the...
Just
PG?
yes or no, so that we are made aware.
I think yes po. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Maraming salamat, Mr. Chairman.
Before we leave this topic, nabanggit nyo sa affidavit nyo na si Secretary Bunoan, mentor ninyo, di ba?
Yes po, Mr.
How
Chair.
long have you known him?
I think kahit po nung ako'y isang assistant district engineer or district engineer po.
But you used to be very, very close, hindi ba?
Nagpapasyal po ako sa kanya noon. Siyempre po, kami pong mga from the district engineering offices, ay kumbaga namamasyal po kami sa mga USEC noon during the time
No,
dahil...
hindi yung mga USEC, kay Secretary Bunoan.
Doon po, USEC po siya.
Close, close kayo. In fact, nag-choke ka noong binanggit mo yung pangalan niya, napansin lang namin yon.
Yes po, close po ako kay Sec.
And wala kang, this is not a leading question, pero wala akong maisip na motibo para implicate mo siya. Other than, sabihin mo yung totoo, hindi ba?
Yes po, I'm after for the truth po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. So,
Chair, clarification lang.